Developed by Rebellion, Sniper Elite 4 is the latest entry into a World War II series that has stretched out since 2005's Sniper Elite. Now in the fourth main entry into the series, it's evident that the formula is getting a bit drab. Sniper Elite V2 was a phenomenal game that never got the love it deserved on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but since then the series hasn't evolved much past the gory bullet cam kills and the tension that flares up as you empty out your lungs to take a long shot with a rifle. Taking off immediately after Sniper Elite 3's ending, the game is set in 1943's Italy, with a variety of locales that range from Roman aqueducts to seaside fishing villages. According to the developers, the smallest map in Sniper Elite 4 is bigger than their biggest map in any of their previous titles. That's a lot of elbow room for an improvisational hitman. Even though Sniper Elite 4 is all about killing Nazis and shooting said Nazis in their German dicks, the game somehow still manages to be boring. At the root of this problem is the AI, which ranges from vacant to atrocious at times. Customizable difficulty settings are indeed a godsend that should be included in any shooter from this point on, but even after adjusting the responsiveness of the enemies, they didn't really seem to prove an interesting challenge. Even the game maps, as massive as they are so static and lifeless. That's not to say they're not beautiful, because Mission 5, the Abranza Monastery, is proof enough of that with its stunning environmental effects. Instead, it's the fact that you don't really interact with the environment, especially in comparison to Square Enix's Hitman. That does really interesting things with the way you interact with different locales and the people in them. This just feels flat. The best thing about the story in-game is that most of it is skippable. The cutscenes are absolutely mind-numbing in this frozen comic book style that is just horrendous. Just look at this cutscene. I shit you not, 5 seconds into the game, and I've already seen the most terrifying thing of my life. Who animated this? Who thought this was a good idea in a serious World War II game? For example, the game worlds are scattered with magnetic bushes for in-game cover. If you're hidden in these, you're totally invisible. But if you hide behind just a random rose bush, even though it's bigger, thicker, and in all likelihood a better source of cover, the AI sees right through it. Which has me asking, what is even the point of a sandbox game when the developer just shoehorns how you play and consume the entire experience? It's these immersion-breaking things that makes it so that when your cover's blown, you never really feel as it's your fault. I know there are times when I was testing out the AI's intelligence, or lack thereof, and you very quickly learn their predictable natures, tactics, and technical limitations. If you're in a crow's nest at the top of a tower, for example, just stay put and have the enemies climb up the ladder one by one, just waiting to be picked them off when you shoot them in the head. Or if you're standing behind a corner, make a noise and have the enemies take turns walking through so that you can easily hit the Y button to use stealth kills. As a result, the overall grandeur of the maps in the game is effectively compromised, as even though you can approach objectives however you'd like, you feel restrained and limited, and the AI is just so transparent. Some may identify Sniper Elite 4's massive world as open or free, but it would be better identified as empty. Environmental interaction is limited to shooting cranes, explosive crates, and trucks. And in general, it seems as if the environments could have been procedurally designed. While some levels are better designed than others, all of them lack any distinctive features. Furthermore, the game immediately strips away the need to explore by starting you off with a completed map that gives you all the general areas of your objectives. There's nothing stopping you from making a beeline right to the primary objective and finishing the mission in a few minutes. While there are a lot of side objectives, I found myself skipping most of them because they just constituted breaking a few defenses or murdering all the people in an area. You'll spend the entirety of this sizable campaign hiding in bushes, using passing vehicles to cover the sounds of your rifle, and wantonly heading from one question mark laden objective to another. At a certain point, you just want the campaign to end. It's a shame, too, because when you're looking down the rifle scope of Springfield, the game really is at its best. The same cannot be said, however, for the absolutely clunky movement, cover system, and gunplay when you're using anything else other than a sniper rifle. It's endlessly frustrating. That being said, though, the game is relatively polished in terms of visuals. I didn't encounter many frame rate issues, although there's a lot of screen tearing that really takes away, especially when movement is so key looking down that scope. Sniping in video games just makes sense. I mean, who doesn't remember the all gillied up mission from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? That being said, Sniper Elite 4 and the Sniper Ghost Warrior series are just really clunky substitutes. Although hopefully Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is able to fare better when it's released in April. At this point in the series, Sniper Elite needs to get off the fence in terms of its genre identity. It can either be a fun, explosive, gory, sniping-centric shooter, or it can be the monotone, serious sniper sim. It cannot do both. At least not well. Unfortunately, for its bland, monotonous campaign, I can't possibly recommend Sniper Elite 4 at full price. For more reviews, stay tuned to LowbrowGamer.